All right. I've been working on this lighter for several different times. I got this off of eBay. Actually, a very nice lighter. It's called a Imperial Bronica. Made in Japan. All right. These are very nice. Bronica lighters are a quality lighter, but I've tried to fix it and repair it several times, and I got a leak in the tank. It's a problem. So what I thought I would do is let me zoom in here. What I thought I would do is just go ahead and let's see. I'm trying to get okay there. And there, I'm trying to get my frame here because I got this zoomed in, so I'm trying to figure out exactly where my limits are as far as getting the lighter, keeping the lighter in frame, because sometimes I got a bad habit of going out of frame. But anyway, what I thought I would do is just show you how to disassemble this lighter in case you got to work on one. And believe me, this is not a lighter that you just want to start to learn to fix, okay? But I wanted to show you, it came with a straight flame in it, but I put a pipe valve in it. I've been kind of going through a pipe lighter phase, so. But anyway, all right. Anyways, there it is. It's got a adjustment on like some of the older DuPonts, and I put a pipe valve in it, but I've got to take it apart because it's got a leak in the tank. It's got a little metal tank on the inside. It's made out of aluminum and magnesium or something. I'm not for sure, but I want to go ahead and take it apart. That way I can give some advice for any of you guys out there that might have one of these that you might want to work on. Alright. Now, bear in mind that when you take this lighter apart, you are going to have to take the cap off. No way around it. There is no way around it. You got to take the cap off. Alright. Now, I keep a special tool for that, for items like that you got to take the cap off. This here you can get off of like eBay. It's actually made for taking the pins out of wristwatches, so you can adjust your wristwatch band. But it works great for doing this. Now keep in mind too that usually these pins, okay, see how I got the lighter oriented right here? Usually the pins come out this way. Alright, so keep that in mind. I'm going to put this up here and just get it going here. And this, see, I just you can see I got a little nub right here. There's a little bitty, kind of like little bitty edges on here that hold that pin in. You might not be able to see it, but that's what's designed to hold this pin in. Alright. Well, after that, the cap comes right off. Alright. Now from this point, push this top part down, pull out area here for your flint. Okay. Take out your flint, remove your flint wheel, and now you're down to this screw, straight screw right there. This is a counterclockwise, it's just a regular righty tighty, lefty loosey thread, okay? Now, before you can completely lift that out, you gotta unscrew this valve, okay? So, I usually, there's not enough room in here, clearance in here for me to use my little socket set, so I take this off by hand. But when you do this, just be gentle. Don't be scored everything up and, you know, making everything look like worse than it was when you started. The original valve that come in here is just a regular straight valve, but regular flame, I should say, not a pipe flame. So anyway, I had to, and when I modified that valve, I had to re-tap that too. So from this point on, you can just lift this off, and the whole roller assembly and everything comes out, okay? Put that aside. Now, there's two screws right here, and here, that take this base off. Don't forget to take this out. See this? This is part of your flame adjustment. Alright? This fits up inside the bottom of this. Okay? I don't know if you can see that little plate down in there, but when you adjust this flame adjustment screw, it takes that plate over or back, which pushes down on this, which hits a little mechanism underneath. But anyway, keep in mind when you unloosen these, there's a little ball bearing right there. Alright? Be careful, that thing will flop out. You'll be on your hands and knees looking for it. What I do is just remove your screws, and I just kind of like put my fingers over that one part. That way, if that wants to pop out of there, I should catch it with my finger. I could probably use a little more light on this, but I really don't have a lot of light right now. I need to get a better system. Alright, there the ball bearing is. I want to let you know too that this little washer right here that you see pop out will be right in there. Okay, keep that in mind. And this is what you got on the bottom. There's no need to mess with anything else. Alright, now in order to get the tank out of here, because the whole tank assembly fits down inside this casing, in order to get that out, you got to pop this little bitty plastic piece out of here, and you can see right down in there that I got a little brass screw, seat, whatever you want to call it, that needs to become unscrewed. No. So I'm going to unscrew that carefully, not to scratch up my case with the end of my screwdriver. This is a really nice looking lighter. It's like it got a sterling silver. Alright, once you get that out of there, okay, then what you're going to need to do next, you're going to have to remove the filler valve, because the filler valve helps hold the tank in there. I'll show you where that goes so you'll know. Well, let me just show you. This is how this goes in here, okay? When you put that back on, that's part of your flame adjustment right there, all right? Just remember that. The flat part right here is what the pin goes down on to help adjust it. You can see. Alright, anyway. the filler valve out. Yeah, guys, I've got some, I don't know how many hours in on this, and if anybody, when I take this apart and show you this tank and where my leak is, if anybody's got an idea how to repair that, please, you know, give me a hint. I mean, I've got an idea, but it requires putting heat on it, and I really don't want to put any heat on it. I've tried epoxy, and I've tried some JB Weld epoxy. There's a case, the empty case, and it's leaking. See, I got some epoxy on the bottom here. My leak is right here, in this area here. Case is not coming together. I don't know, this part must come down in, they must seal it, but there's a screw here. And on the other side there's another screw. Now I tried to take those screws out, but I couldn't get them out, so they look like they're like sanded down. But you can see the brace right here that comes down and goes inside where you got to take that brass screw out to get this whole internals out. Now the reason I don't want to put any heat on this is because I'm gonna have to disassemble the whole valve mechanism from all the way inside, and this here's got an epoxy coating on it. Okay, that's the last point, but I'm gonna put the fill valve back in, and I'm gonna put some butane in it and double check to make sure that that's where my leak is coming from, but I'm pretty sure it is, because I actually had this thing full sitting up on a shelf and I heard a leak, so I grabbed a few lighters and I thought, well, it's got to be this one. All these other lighters I got up here has been repaired, sitting for days. So anyway, let's see what we got here. All right. Where's the leak coming from? Well, I think you can probably see it. You watch the bubbles. See a little wave I got in there. So anyway, it's here. And what we got is, I want to show you too how this mechanism works, okay? Let me get my pipe valve in there. This was working good and I put it back together, but unfortunately not working now. It's working real good. This is a shut-off valve right here, my finger. Okay, now what happens is that little lever right here that fits over this top, the way you adjust that flame is by moving this valve, internal valve system down. Okay. Anyway, good, working a little lighter. It doesn't have a very big tank. I think it's 1.5 grams, maybe up to 2 grams. But the lighter has a good quality feel to it. I don't much care for the design of the tank, why they manufactured it out that way instead of maybe manufacturing it out of like maybe a copper brass and soldering that in there, but it is what it is. It's a quality lighter, but it's just to me that's just a bad design. You can't solder. I don't know. You guys got any idea how to? I could seal that, without, because butane it doesn't give out a lot of pressure. Yeah, you can see that popped right off of there. Maybe you guys know something else I could stick on there that actually seal that. I thought about getting some of that low temperature aluminum rod and heating this up and going down there and sealing that back up. With some of that, but I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, now as far as disassembling this, you just have to unscrew it right here. Okay, this little right here, take the innards out. But I'm not going to do. I'm going to go ahead and do it because I got a sneaking suspicion I'm going to have to disassemble this whole lighter to get it repaired right. I've been kind of putting that off. I should just go ahead and follow my gut instinct sometimes and do something right, but I wasn't wanting to put any more time in this lighter than I already had. And when you start thinking like that, you know what happens. You usually put more time in it than if you just did it right the first time. Okay, this valve right here, you unscrew this internal part will come out. That collar there will come out. There's a little spring in here with a stopper on it. I used a brand new stopper that I got out of a disposable lighter that I bought new and disassembled and found one that had the right stem size and stuck back in there. Alright, now let me, okay, now this is the whole internal system. And when you take that, when I first took this apart, I couldn't figure out because this was all stuck together. Alright, but it had two O-rings on it, so that should tell you something. When you got two O-rings on something, that means something separates. Now the filter is in here, and I end up losing, there's a little stainless steel plate down in here. I end up losing the one that's in it. I don't know what happened to it. I looked all over, but I had something that worked. And anyway, you have to clean that out, put a new filter in it. I did find some new O-rings too to put on there, but that's how that goes back together. Now what I usually do when I'm putting that back together, because you just can't stick them, because you're gonna, if you turn it upside down like this to put it in, that little plate's gonna fall out of there. Alright, that's a compression plate, so when the adjustment valve is being pushed down, that plate squeezes that sponge in there, which stops which slows down or stops the gas flow, all depending on whether you're just using a flame adjustment or you're closing the lid. Alright, well anyway, the way you got to put that, the way I put it back together without is what I did, just so you'll know. I stuck that back down in there like that, and I don't know if I have it. Yeah, I got it here. And I went and got me just something small that'll sit right in here like this. Okay, where that plate's up, and I try to kind of put it together like that. Make sure it's together, and then just shove everything in there, work around a little bit, and anyway, you know what I'm doing here. I think you kind of get the point there. But let's say I got everything here completely disassembled. Alright, now this screws into here, but they got this stuff kind of epoxy or something on it. That's the reason why I didn't really want to put a heat on it and mess with it. So if you guys got an idea of something I can use that would actually seal these little crevices around here, I'd be happy to know what it is, because right now I'm kind of stumped on this and I can't go any further. This is going to be the last time that I repair this lighter. But apparently the epoxy isn't holding. So, you know, the cold temperature sometimes of the butane is doesn't help either, you know, for certain things, because you got to withstand some cold temps and you know, seal good. I did sand this down, but you know, smooth, but just to see where the leak was. And I think you can probably possibly see it. Let me get here in the light, but the leak was right here. All right, right here where it's at. All right. Anyway, that's it on that. If you got an idea, let me know.